Welcome everyone to the New Fly Fisher. On this week's show, our topic is the all-time favorite North American fish, the bass. We'll explore where to find bass, their feeding habits, and the best techniques for taking these hard-fighting fish.
Oh yes!
Oh, baby, look at that fish.
Stop, wiggle, on the way down.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to Ontario Tourism, Islander Precision Reels, and Orvis Sporting Traditions.
One of the many places Ontario offers in our search for bass is the town of Picton in Prince Edward County. This small town has excellent shopping, live theater, fine heritage homes, and grand public buildings. There are 6 local parks and a beautiful harbor with a full-service marina. Excellent accommodations abound at reasonable rates. Adjacent to the Bay of Quinte, the Picton area offers excellent fishing for bass, pike, muskie, and walleye. Many different species of bass are found in North America. The 2 most popular are smallmouth bass and largemouth bass. Differentiating smallmouth from largemouths is simple. If the mouth only extends to the middle of the eye, it's a smallmouth. If the mouth extends beyond the eye, it's a largemouth. Body markings are also a giveaway. Largies are green and have a definite black lateral line. Smallies are brown with vertical black lines, especially on their cheeks.
Came right out under that log.
Well, we were casting exactly where you'd expect to find a bass. There's a couple old sunken trees here, a couple crooks in the trees. I cast right between the trees and bang, right away. As soon as I popped that popper, got a bass on. He's a nice little guy here. As you can see over here, the trees, we were casting right into these trees above the bass here. And he was sitting in that crotch there. And we'll bring him in. One of the great things about the Bay of Quinte area is there's a lot of different types of fishing. There's a lot of open water fishing. There's a lot of river fishing as well. And this morning we decided to try some river fishing because there was a bit of a wind up. And I'm just gonna have to take this guy out here. These are beautiful fish. There we go. There. Bay of Quinte bass. First one of the morning. There you go. I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of those today.
Only about 10% of any given water has the ideal combination of things bass need: the right structure, temperature, oxygen content, food, and cover. That 10% of the water is where you'll find the most bass. When trying to locate bass, you must think first of structure. This structure could be an underwater hump, the edge of a weed line, a felled tree or brush pile, an isolated rock, or anything man-made, such as a dock. Bass are extremely object-oriented. There's a saying, you may find structure that's not holding bass, but you'll never find bass without structure.
Oh, got one. So, I saw a fish jumping right in the middle of the water here in this channel. This is a man-made channel just off the Bay of Quinte. Saw a fish jump in the middle. I'd been casting to the edges like you normally do with a popper. Decided to try throwing one in the middle, which is not normally the right technique, and he took right where I saw him. It was a nice bass. Yeah, very good. So we're getting down towards the end of the afternoon, and so we're now starting to get fish taking. We've had a tough day with changing weather conditions here. Jamie's going to bring him in and take him in here. See if we can swim him in. Whoops. There we go. Thank you, Jamie. Well, that's beautiful. So you can see I'm using a yellow popper. I find myself that yellow poppers tend to work better than any other color. I don't know why, they do for me, and almost all conditions. So there you go. Nice little Bay of Quinte bass taken on a popper at the end of the afternoon, and just where I saw one rise. There you go. Okay, well, we'll see if we can get some more here. We need a little action.
Bass love to eat frogs, minnows, crayfish, and large mayflies. Even small bass will aggressively attack large prey. The best flies to imitate these food sources are large tube flies, closer minnows, crayfish patterns, poppers, and foam hex flies. Other flies you want in your bass box are strip leeches, woolly buggers, and deceivers. The rods best for bass fishing are 7 and 8 weights. Fast actions with stout butt sections will punch out big flies and pull fish out of heavy cover such as weeds or brush. Large arbor reels with smooth drag systems are also recommended, as bass can put up a very hard fight. When bass are hungry, they will normally hide and wait until an unsuspecting victim passes too close. Sometimes bass will stealthily glide close to prey and literally inhale it. A feeding bass has one motto: if it moves, eat it.
Oh my goodness. After muskie, and we get a huge smallmouth here. Oh, oh my goodness.
On the 9th, you are in for huge power.
Oh, wow.
You also missed and got the second hook.
That's all right.
Doesn't matter.
We seen him come out.
It's 2 hooks,
Yeah.
so that's not fair. We're gonna get a misjudge. Oh, yeah. Good one.
There we go.
Yeah, watch out for this treble, but on the musky fly. On the musky fly.
And you called it where he was going to be, where we thought a muskie was going to be, and this big old smallie comes out.
Did he ever crunch it? Look at this. He wasn't gonna miss that for $1 million. Oh. On the musky fly. There is an Ontario bronze bass.
All right, yeah. That's great.
Not quite musky, but I
Great.
So, deep water head start, get his head upstream, and just let him regain his power, and then let him go.
I gotta hand it to you. You know the river. You definitely know the river, and you know your flies, and you called it. Watch for a fish to take it here. Now, we were hoping for a muskie, but it turns out it's a big smallmouth. Hey, I'll take them any day.
Forget it, throw the rack.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, great.
Research shows that 10% of the anglers catch about 80% of the bass, and mostly heavier specimens. The winners are the anglers with the best technique. Always be willing to learn from the masters of bass fishing. Watch as Ken Collins shows Bill Spicer a unique way of presenting a crayfish pattern.
Presentation. If these fish are lethargic and down, then what we're going to do is we're going to hop a vertical crayfish presentation through them. And what we're going to do is you just line up where you want to go with this indicator there, Bill. So you toss one out there, and then you mend if you need to, if it's not that currenty. And then you're just going to tap that indicator at a good crayfish pace, looking for indications at bottom as you tap it, and tap it, and tap it, and tap it, and tap it. And what's going to happen on a strike is that indicator just isn't going to come back up. That indicator's going to stay down.
Okay.
And then just set it up. So I'm going to switch your rods. I'll take care of this.
This is a new technique for me.
Yeah, this is vertical streamer fishing, I call it. Roll cast starts are better because they're quite weighted systems. And just let it plug. Again, that's a custom-made line for roll casting perfection. So we need to keep up the pace so we stay above it.
So you know it's only about 3 or 4 feet deep here.
Yeah, well, off that pickup it is. And it gets deep again like we've been in. But what you can do with this presentation, which is really neat, is that you can stop moving it and see what angle your indicator sits at when it touches bottom. And you can indicate to yourself just how blooming close you are or far you are. So
we got the indicator about, what, 4 feet?
Yeah, to the shot scenario.
Yeah.
So watch this, do nothing. Just do a mend for me. Now watch it. Oh, no, set that.
Not a very big one again. Ken calls it frog water, which is pretty much dead water over here. They don't seem to want to be out in the current at all.
Still just too high.
But again, with an indicator. Now this is different for me with smallmouth, fishing with an indicator. It's definitely different. You twitch the rod. Oh,
that's not a bad fish. That's
not
16.
A bad fish. Yeah, it's not a bad fish. You twitch it, not like a dead drift that you were used to with nymphs. Yeah, you certainly, look at how much he's bent this rod. There we go, very, very good.
But he's a decent average. Again, crayfish right in the yap, right on the top. Oh, he had it skinny hooked though. Look at this. Look how skinny hooked he had that. That was just about to be lost.
And away he goes.
You need at least 3 lines to be ready for different situations: a floating line, a sink tip, and a full sinking line. There are also specialty floating lines specifically designed for bass. Compared to normal weight forward floating lines, the bass lines have an aggressive bullet-shaped taper, a taper for casting and turning over large, wind-resistant bass flies.
It's just about 7:30 at night. Sun's just gone down behind the trees, and that's usually the best time to get them. And there we go, Mr. Bass. Fish in the Bay of Quinte, bass can get up into the 4 and 5 pound range, and that's what we've been hoping for today. But we've mostly been getting the 2 and 2.5 pounders like this. It's a beautiful fish, though. There you go. Put them back in, Jamie, and away we go. Now let's try for a few more of those.
As well as great bass, Prince Edward County also boasts fantastic walleye fishing with big fish and lots of them. Pike, steelhead, salmon, carp, and the prehistoric gar pike are also found in the county's waters. Other activities in the area include shopping along picturesque streets, sailing, wine tours, and just plain relaxing. You can catch bass even when they're not actively feeding. They have strong predatory instincts. Mere curiosity or an instinctive attack reaction to a sudden movement or being startled can trigger a slashing strike.
Ah, got him.
Oh,
Good job.
did you see that take?
That is a beautiful take.
Oh, look at him go.
I'm going to take you across the river, Colin, as soon as that fish clears
Okay.
the water. And we'll get that into some slower water here. That's a good fish.
Yeah, he just hammered that too.
Now, if he comes up and jumps, just go down low with your rod and pull
Yep.
to the side, right?
Oh, was that excellent?
That was nice. That was a beautiful
Well, we just
take.
saw that one I told you about, and he came up and he looked at it for a second, and it wasn't just a few feet down. It was the same fish. Oh man,
They're a great fight, aren't they?
they're so strong. You see why fly fishing for smallmouth has become so popular the last few years.
Well, and the reality is, I love them just as much as trout. You know, they're such an exciting fish to fish for.
Look at that fish.
That's why we're sticking it out with the popper pole.
Look at this. Look at the thickness of this thing. Holy mackerel. That's a big fat fish.
It's not a mackerel, Colin, that's a bass. This is what it's all about, Colin. The take and the fight of these fish, isn't it?
Well, I gotta tell you, sight fishing and fly fishing on top is so much fun. Oh, look at that.
Isn't that great?
What a pig.
Perfect. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, look at the big crayfish in his mouth. Isn't
Oh
that
yeah.
fantastic?
Here, show that to the camera.
He's got a big crayfish right down his throat. Okay, Colin,
All right.
just
Look at that.
look at that.
He's like,
Isn't that beautiful?
he's that thick. He's beautiful.
Great
The
fish.
shoulders.
It's about a 3-pound fish. Nice. Very well done, Colin.
Changing weather conditions such as cold fronts will challenge your angling skills. Cold fronts turn fish off. A cold front is the edge of a cold air mass that moves in on a warmer air mass. Rain, high winds, and overcast skies result. After the edge of cold air passes, typical weather conditions are bright skies, few clouds, and cooler temperatures. How does this affect the fishing? Well, fish tend to bite best before an approaching front, and generally not as well after it passes. There are 3 setups you should be prepared for. The first is a floating line attached to a 9-foot tapered leader and then a surface fly such as a popper. The next setup is a clear intermediate sinking line, and attached to that, 4 feet of 12-pound tippet and a streamer fly. The third setup we use is for our vertical presentation. It's a floating line attached to a 9-foot leader. Attached to the leader is an indicator placed approximately 2 times the depth of the water away from the fly. Attached to the leader is a weighted crayfish pattern. When all conditions are right and bass are in an aggressive mood, surface poppers can be deadly. Be patient with this technique and allow the ripples to subside before popping the fly. Watch as Colin, along with John VALK, manage to fool a very large fish.
Oh, baby.
That's a big fish, Colin.
Oh, did he come up and suck that? Oh, look at that fish.
That is a big fish.
What a take. What a take. Oh, wow. I gotta put this guy
There's
in
a
the
lot of
reel.
length on this fish.
Yeah. He was right where you said. He was right up against that bank, right tight.
And he's going back home.
He's trying to. Get him versus his head here.
Now, Colin, there's a nice little gravel bar to your right. I'm going to take the boat over to that gravel bar,
Okay.
and we'll land that one out of the boat.
I'll just keep him reversed here. He's going upriver, which
You're
is
fine.
good.
We're-
This is
Yeah,
what I
we're going to
want.
pull him away from this.
Yeah, he's going this way.
That's a really big fish.
Look at him. Look at the size of him from this distance. Okay, he's going down towards those bushes. I'm trying to keep him away. Got him away. Got him away.
Good
Okay.
job.
I don't like this. I got him downstream. I don't like that at all.
Just be cool. Did you want to get out of the boat with me?
Oh, I am going to get out of the boat. You can grab that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. You just be nice and easy. Well, that's a real good bass, Colin.
Holy mackerel.
Careful you don't get too far into the wood, my friend.
No, I got him out. Got him out.
Okay, right over to your left.
Okay.
Back to your left, Colin.
Yeah, just getting his
That's
head.
it.
Yeah, I'll get his head. I'll see him and get his head up. I don't know if he's ready yet. Yeah, he's ready. I think he's in the top left.
Colin. Now I was telling you about 5 pounds of smallmouth earlier. Okay, Colin, I'm just gonna get you to hold that handle for me for 1 second.
Holy
just so I can bring him out of there.
cow! Look at the size of this bass. I've caught some big smallmouth in my day, but this,
Now look, that's almost the mouth of a largemouth.
look at that.
Here, my friend, we're gonna support him by the belly. We don't want to hurt him.
Oh,
But look at the size of that smallmouth bass.
look at this fish.
Isn't that fantastic?
That's the biggest smallmouth I think I've ever caught.
I think we'll just hold him here for a second. I want you to. You know how many people say that to me? That's the biggest smallmouth I've ever caught.
I bet you hear it all the
I
time.
hear it all the time. And you should probably hold this guy.
Oh yeah, I've got to hold this. Look at that fish. Look at it. It's just huge.
Colin,
And the muscle.
there's about 23 inches of smallmouth bass right there, buddy.
Okay.
22,
Wow.
23 inches.
All right. So we're gonna just.
Actually, I want to put him back in his hole up here.
Okay.
I don't want to leave him down in the shallow current.
Okay.
So I'm just going to walk him over to the slow water
All right. You go ahead.
and release him over here. Look at that. He's ready to go.
For more information on this and other shows in our informative series, visit us on the net at thenewflyfisher.com. From all of us here at The New Fly Fisher, thanks for joining us, and until next time, tight lines and take it cool.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to Ontario Tourism, Islander Precision Reels, and Orvis Sporting Traditions.